man losing his life in a house, but there are still no suspects. An associate of Lil Durk hunted and stood over while walking with his daughter. There are two things you don't want to be known for in the city. Being connected to a guy that's on a lot of people's hit list and making a very disrespectful song. But being a gang member in today's world, you can easily end up as both. As I spoke on in one of my first Chicago videos, I heard a diss song become a trend on TikTok years ago, and I discovered that it was a kid named Bando Hothead. Now, two things that aren't new in Chicago are people dying after a song is released, and gun trades gone wrong.
That ain't new at all. That ain't new at all, my guy. Gun trades, bro. I used to look at my homies like, what the fuck you trading guns for, bro? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you trading guns with somebody you don't know? Even if you know him, why are you trading guns? What are you doing? Like,
all of this is alleged, but with the renegade culture of the streets, the only reason a gun trade would occur is if one or both weapons are hot. And if I need to tell you what that means, I'm not sure you'll understand the rest of this video. So already, as soon as you agree to something like this, you're setting yourself up essentially, one way or the other. There's a very haunting photo of a cop standing over Hothead at the crime scene, appearing to crack a smile. Now, I believe that as a Chicago police officer, you can become desensitized to a lot.
For sure. I'm finna say, he probably a little crazy just because he see this shit so much. Being a Chicago police officer working in the hood, man.
And he could have simply been joking with another officer about something completely unrelated, as to say a homicide scene is business as usual here would be an understatement. But then again, most people in the city would tell you that the reason there aren't more arrests in cases like this is because the cops know the streets will come and get you much faster than any legal process.
Hell yes. Gang, everybody in Chicago know that. So I'm gonna stop pausing it, but Chicago don't have money. The city does not have money. Even though it's the third biggest city, the politics in the city, we don't have enough money to really go clean the streets up. You know what I'm saying? So the police don't want to spend the little money they do have to lock you up for murder. Even though they know you the one who caught the body, they just might not have the money to prove it, go to court and all that other shit. So, and other cases might be easier to prove and easier to lock you up. So you might slide, but they know the streets gonna take care of you before they can, and for cheaper and quicker. So a lot of times they don't care. They just pull up. Oh yeah, that's Hothead. Yeah, we thought he was finna check. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Like,
one example of this is someone I won't name, but if you're in tune with the Chicago scene, you know that in a certain hood there was a fist fight. One guy lost badly, and when his attacker got up and turned around, he was shot in the back. This entire incident was live streamed and is literally still on the internet today. Yet the Chicago police act like they saw nothing, likely figuring that this guy would die before they could ever bring up charges. He did not. But there's no real proof, and like most things in Chicago, we'll probably never know. THFTP is a guy that's been around for a long time, and unfortunately for him, he was both things that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. He rose to fame when he dropped a song called Bus Stop. You can always gauge how disrespectful a song is by counting how many people in the music video are now deceased. This video came out almost 10 years ago, and there are at least 6 people in it that are no longer here.
I want to put y'all on to some of the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. Freecash.com is a website that allows you to literally get paid hundreds of dollars just for playing video games on your phone. All you need is an email and a password. Follow the directions on each of the campaigns and you can earn at least $100. My personal favorite game to play was Sunrise Island, and when I clicked on it, they had a $370 bonus. I got $370 just for playing the video game on my phone. On average, it only takes about 17 minutes for most people to start earning money on freecash.com. So if you need some free, easy, extra money, go to freecash.com, click the QR code right here, or go in the description below and start getting that bag. You did?
Including TP and Lil Durk's older brother, D-Thing. And this song is a great example of why something like this is not worth it. Durk's brother was in the video.
And I don't be understanding, like, do you know how stupid and slow you gotta be like, hey, let's all get in a room together. All the dead ops put a big ass red, yellow target on our back so we can't even go to the stove. And then we all know that when we leave this room and drop this song, most of us in here are probably gonna check. Why would you go in there and do that? It's just
got
stupid.
over 2 million views, but no life-changing record deal came out of it. He didn't get the same chance Dirk gave Von. All he got was extra fire added to his name.
Right.
Now, being from the South Side, the most mysterious thing about his death is that it occurred on the West Side, with any part of the West Side being at least 15 minutes away from the South Side by car, not counting traffic, as it could take you 30 to 40 minutes. Like in most big cities, unless the police or especially the feds grab you, most people are not willing to provide witness statements to the police regarding gruesome crimes, as it still probably wouldn't lead to a conviction.
That is weird. I didn't know it was on the West Side though, because the way Chicago work, once you get to the West Side, that's a whole nother hood. They making money out there. They not just killing people for no reason. So if you a South Side nigga and you got ops and you go to the West Side, you probably good over there, gang. Like 9 times out of 10, if you a West Side nigga and you come all the way to the South Side, Stony Island or some shit like that, or come to the East Side, you good. Cause ain't nobody from out west over here at all. Like that's like 2 different cities for real.
Now, when TP was caught, a man claimed his wife was there, and she allegedly noticed the 2 assailants eating inside with their hoods on until they spotted TP. Then they ran out of the restaurant. Now, this is a claim from the internet that appears to have one major hole in it. The shooters popped out of a car, not a building, and the car immediately busted a U-turn after the shooting going past MacArthur's, the restaurant across the street. And since the public version of this video starts with the assailant's car already in the street, we don't know where it came from. Now, it's possible that these guys were eating across the street at this restaurant, but the alleged husband of the witness claimed that TP and his killers were in the same restaurant. It's also possible that these guys were in the same restaurant and they simply exited and brought the car around so they could have a clean getaway, and this could very well be true, but regardless, it remains unsolved. The main guys TP was known to be in tour with were at least a 30-minute drive away, and he's been in the streets so long that it's hard to believe they couldn't have just caught him sooner out south. And also, due to his age, I doubt that it was any guys from his generation anyway. These could be teenagers to guys in their early 20s. But the fact that it happened in front of his daughter leads me to believe that either money was involved or a very personal vendetta.
Yeah, it was either money or somebody just wanted some points. Somebody probably got a older GD cousin or older cousin that's his op. You know what I'm saying? They seen him. They like, oh, I'm finna do him nasty. And then I'm finna go back to the hood and everybody gonna love me. You know what I'm saying? And then if y'all didn't see that video, we reacted to it a while ago. The girl left. The girl ran, which she should run. But the girl ran and left the kid, the daughter right there too. But the thing I did respect about them, which is some out west type of shit. Out west, they don't really just shoot people, innocent people. They got out of the car, right? They got out of their car. They walked up on the gang member. They unalived the gang member and they left. Nobody else got hurt, touched, scratched, scraped, nothing. You feel me? So I did respect that about that situation.
And I must admit, one thing that has changed from my era to the teenagers of today is that money is actually being put up on some of these guys. Back in my day, people would lie and act like they were doing hits for $1,500 as if that was enough to take a life. But in reality, most of it happened for free, out of fear or a psychotic urge. Meaning it was either this guy had to go because he was terrorizing us, or the 1 out of 10 guys in the hood that was actually bloodthirsty went on the hunt. And since this didn't happen in the upscale part of the city, nor did any kids get hurt, we might not ever have an answer. As somebody that played the streets as long as TP is unlikely to get any remorse from the Chicago police. And they also probably figured that if it's serious enough, the guys that did this to him will have their own judge, jury, and executioner in the streets. Now, Trello, also known as GGE,
I went to school with Trello, bro. Trello was in a older grade than me, but Trello was, me and Trello wasn't friends, but Trello was cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? TY, cool, bro. Both of them went to Kenwood. You know what I'm saying? Trello and TY was like this. You always saw them together. You know what I'm saying? So it was real sad to see him pass away, though.
Trello was much younger, being only 22 years old when he died. But this guy, despite his age, had been rapping for a long time. And it makes you wonder why you hadn't heard of him. But that's because, like most rappers in the city, he didn't start to get much recognition until he got really disrespectful.
Or got disrespectful.
But one day, guys are going to have to learn that there's no money in rap. Obviously, there are people who make millions from it, but they account for less than 1% of all so-called rappers. The guys covering news stories on YouTube about these rappers every time they go to jail or go viral make way more money than any of them.
And that's what we fucked up at, gang. But everybody think it's so cool to just rap and diss they ops and throw the gang signs down and all that. You don't even understand that I'm sitting here in the comfort in my air-conditioned $1 million house in Miami watching something and getting 6 figures a month. I'm making $1 million plus a year, gang. 2 million plus a year. If you really want to, like, you know, Like,
It's got to be one of the biggest myths out there. And most of these guys honestly would have made a comfortable living just making videos talking about their life and experiences, like Take Capone. But Trello came to the spotlight mostly after he and another guy dropped a very disrespectful track. But he was definitely talented though, and he didn't have to take this route at all. But losing friends to violence in the streets at a young age can turn you toward vengeance. And disrespecting the people that caused you pain while getting millions of views for it can actually get to people. And
they said T.Y. I think they said that 051 Melly killed T.Y. I don't know how true that is, but both of them died in the same hood, bro. I really went to school with these niggas. Like, we had gym class together. Like, I really went to school. It's sad, bro. It's sad.
Cause them to feel a fraction of what you feel. Regardless, you can't just move around the city freely once you go down this path.
Hell no.
Now, a lot of people will point to one hood because he was found in an apartment not far from the area the guys he just hang out in. But the only problem with this is he was found inside of a residence. Likely not his own home.
I didn't know that, though.
This means he was invited over somewhere
right there
he felt very
Lake
comfortable.
Park, ain't it?
Now, someone explained to me how a homicide can occur inside of a home and the police don't solve the crime.
Nobody knows.
Well, in Chicago, there's a controversial law about mutual combatants. Regardless of if you're illegally carrying a firearm or not, the police know there are wars going on, so if someone shoots at you and you end up shooting back and the other person doesn't make it out of that situation, you'll get let off without any charges most of the time. But there's hardly enough room to have this type of situation occur inside of a residence. Were the police just called by someone inside the house that said they didn't know what happened? Or was he alone in the house when whoever called the police arrived? You'd be hard pressed to find a block in Chicago that doesn't have cameras, so the fact that this remains a mystery would be unbelievable if it was any other city than Chicago. Now, I'm sure there's a suspect on file, but having a suspect doesn't mean there's any real admissible evidence, and evidence is hard to come by here. Now, this happened in a neighborhood I've spent a lot of time in, Bronzeville. And a big difference with Bronzeville and West Garfield Park, where the TP story took place, is that Bronzeville is partially gentrified. And some areas in it are very expensive to live.
Same thing about Hyde Park, though. Hyde Park is the same thing, you know. And if you drive down Cottage right here, this 44th and Cottage, if you slide down here and you sleep and you look up, oh, we in a nice area. You go back to sleep. You drive 2 more seconds. I'm talking about 2 seconds to that train station on Cottage, cool. I'm telling you, you gonna look left and look right. It's gonna look, because they starting to gentrify it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Hyde Park. They gentrifying it. You will see a white person jogging, or a white man, a white lady on the bike, university kids. But them university kids hang out in Hyde Park thinking it's sweet and get robbed all the time. Then you sit in Hyde Park is where I'm from. I'm from Hyde Park Boulevard. Like, I'm from 53rd and Hyde Park Boulevard on the corner, like right there. And nigga, Bronzeville right there, 051 is a 20-minute walk, 5-minute drive away. You know what I'm saying? 46 right there. Nigga, O Block 10 minutes down the street. Stony Spot 10 minutes down the street. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, like, it's so many gangs. The moles right 5-minute, 10-minute walk. It's so many gangs like around it, and you will get messed up, gang. It's a place where it's starting to look nice, but it's blood on them streets, gang. I'm telling you.
Live in. But again, the police know more than the locals will give them credit for. And this case probably won't get taken seriously by the police as a result. What these guys don't realize is that disrespecting the dead won't change your life. All it'll do is lead to the end of your life. When you look at a guy like Bloodhound Lil Jeff, yes, he was very disrespectful. And had he still been alive, he could have made hundreds of thousands from his music at the very least. But is that just because he was disrespectful? No. The fascination with true crime has always been a multi-million-dollar industry.
For sure.
Why is a show like First 48 popular? Or the entire channel of A&E? Why are there true crime channels on YouTube with over 1 billion total views? Because it makes for very interesting stories.
Yeah, it's a
and
good
something
story.
that used to be somewhat uncommon is a guy doing things that could get him 100 years in prison and then rapping about it in great detail as if he knows he'll never live to see the consequences. Just being a talented lyricist and using that talent to disrespect the dead isn't enough. Just making one of the most heinously disrespectful tracks in history with the entire song centered around one particular murder is also not enough. Some of these guys think that knowing someone in the industry will get them a ticket out once they do enough views. But the guy they know is usually just a rapper. The guy you need to know is the one that works at the label. Look at TP. Knowing Lil Durk and appearing in pictures with him didn't earn him any opportunity. Yet as soon as King Von
y'all be
got
thinking that the rapper gonna do something. The rapper can't do nothing. Nobody cares about the rap. The rapper is a worker. The rapper is a worker. It's like if you go to Target and you ask the nigga who's stocking shelves to get you a job, what the fuck he gonna do? He can't do nothing. He can tell you when the interviews is. He can't get you no job. Now, if you own the general manager of this Target, okay, he can get you a job right there. He can sign you up right now. If you know the supervisor or the manager of the whole store, he might be able to put you in a room and get you, you know what I'm saying? If you know the owner of Target in Chicago, this region of Target, it's the same thing as rappers, bro. Me knowing a rapper and being cool, yeah, that might give me some little pussy points, and the girls might like me a little bit because I know Lil Durk, but the label don't care, gang. Like, you know, rapper is a worker compared to what he might say he a boss. That nigga's a worker, bro. He's with the label. The label say what to do. You feel me?
Out of jail, Durk put Von's music videos on his channel, giving him an instant boost. And that's because rappers pick and choose. That's why TP couldn't get the same treatment. Now, Trello was all around the city. He had money and likely could have made whatever connection he wanted. But again, rapping is a myth. No label is going to reach into Chicago and give you $1 million for being disrespectful. Nope. Even if you can show that you have more mainstream appeal, you still have to have some type of connection at the top, higher than a rapper. So most of these guys just end up dead, and the disrespectful songs they made just end up becoming a "I told you so," or a piece of mockery for the guys that didn't like them. The Bloodhounds are the only rappers out of the city with a real consistent buzz, and they got signed by some dudes from Chicago that just so happened to play the executive role and have some label money. If not for them, they would have just been more guys on a long list of people who did 1 million views and disappeared. Highhead's friends went on a huge run, but with this type of music, it's only so far you can go without label money. And now, out of the 2 most popular guys that were around him, one is in prison after likely being told on by his own friends, and the other is inconsistent, although he seems to have a good head on his shoulders. But as for the guys mentioned in this video, we're unlikely to ever see these cases resolved, at least in the next 10 years.
Oh yeah,
and yet,
for sure. Ain't nobody
their work still remains on the internet for all to see. And unfortunately, it's hard to say the guys will ever learn from this because majority of the time, the dudes with any kind of buzz are all under 19 years old. So trying to learn from others' mistakes as a teenager is less likely than you just being murdered. And thus the cycle will just continue. The labels made a serious error when they first signed a drill artist, creating the false narrative that they would do it again.
That you could, they made a false narrative that you could just get on here, dish your ops and everything like that, and do all this and do all that. You gonna get signed and shit like that. You gotta understand, bro, that Chief Keef was the first one to do it, gang. He was the first one to do it. That's why he got signed. It's not because he's just the first one to really blow up doing it. If Chief Keef came out right, let's say somebody else was in Chief Keef's shoes, somebody else blew up and drill first, and Chief Keef was 16 years old right now, he'll probably get a few million views, but he not gonna get signed out of the hood. He not gonna get no $10 million deal. They don't care, because I'm gonna show you right here. The top songs on Apple Music ain't none of them drill songs, gang. Look, we got Mariah the Scientist, Drake, SZA, Kendrick Lamar, Jesse Murph, Morgan Wallen. I don't even know who the fuck Morgan Wallen is. Kendrick Lamar, Alex Warren, Party Next Door, SZA, Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish. When are y'all gonna understand that drilling don't pay? It does not pay. It just make you look cool to a bunch of niggas in the hood who all broke too. It don't make you look cool to nobody else who actually fucking matters in the world. It just make you look cool to a bunch of other broke motherfuckers with guns. The real money is in the real songs. If you gonna make music, nigga, you need to be making hit mainstream songs, my guy. Ain't no money in no motherfucking Charles died in the street, Charles died in the heat, Charles died and I took him to the grave and I peed. Like, that ain't getting no money, gang. It's getting some clicks. And these motherfuckers get blinded by the views that they getting, because we just clicking on your video because we can't believe you this stupid. And we trying to see how long it's gonna take for you to die. I'm gonna be honest with you. Do your homework.
Some type of organic buzz you can build, but that couldn't be further from the truth. To all you aspiring rappers out there, no matter what you rap about, you make more money as a blogger. Adam22 earned more in a year than 85% of the guys you see on his platform. 85%. And if you can't see why, I don't know 95, what to tell 99%. You. But thanks for watching as always.
99%. And then Adam22, y'all so slow. Adam22 sitting on here interviewing you about the streets on his platform making money, where you can go open, the YouTube channel is free. You can go start a YouTube channel your damn self, sit down with your homies, talk about the streets with y'all self and make your own money. You don't have to come on Adam22. But you coming on Adam22, he getting paid, you risking your life, then you die or go to jail. Your homie died, you'll go to jail. And he's still sitting here making more money off of it. Because guess what? When you die, that's views. That's money. When Fulio getting killed, and it's sad to say, but Fulio getting killed was one of the most viewed videos on my channel, bro. That shit paid me $7,000-$8,000 for a 15-minute video. And all I did was sit here and watch somebody else pass away. Because true crime stories, it works, bro. People like that. And if people like some type of content, it's nothing wrong with you giving it to them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it might sound bad. I don't mean to. It wasn't my childhood goddamn goal to make money off of other people's misfortunes. But it's like somebody gonna tell the story. The news been doing it. The news been doing. Adam 22 gonna make $1 million off of it. How stupid would I be to sit here and be like, no, I'm not gonna make no videos because I don't want to seem like that, huh? It's a business, bro. But what side of the business do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side of the business that's giving people like me content and getting you smoked? Or do you want to be on the side of the business that's making millions every year while other people die? And as sad as it is, gang, as sad as it might sound, it's always going to be another dumb motherfucker getting himself smoked on the internet for some views. And it's always going to be somebody like me making thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars a year off just watching it, off just reporting it, off just telling a story. Stop being so damn slow, bro. Y'all ass be tweaking. Shout out to Trap University, though. Real Trap University. This is a hard channel, bro. I rock with it.